Okay, welcome to part 2 of the video that we started with Mike. So if you're coming into this, go to Mike's channel and watch part 1 of this video. So we are now talking about power. What we're doing today, in case you did not watch the other video, just a super quick point of context for you. But go watch the other video. Don't even listen to this. We have a shoot coming up this week, and we are testing a lighting setup for it. I'll leave all the details in Mike's video for that. So we're testing a lighting setup, punching against outside.
Shooting into the corner office with the beautiful view.
You're not supposed to tell them these things. They
fine.
got to go watch Mike's video.
That's fine.
Go watch. Go.
We say all kinds of other stuff. Then
There's a lot of reasons to watch it besides that. So yeah, we're punching into the corner office, and so we're testing a theory that we had because we haven't had to shoot that exact scenario yet. We're like, oh, we know it should work, but let's check it and make sure it works, so we don't lug everything upstairs through the elevator and get on set and be like, oh crap, we need something different. Yeah. Of course, the airplane starts as soon as we start filming, but these Godox mics are fantastic.
They are.
I think. So we'll find out.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we have here is a 8x silk T-bar. You've seen that a lot of times on the channel. Instead of what we typically do, pushing through a softbox, we are pushing through the 4x silk because behind this skirt, you will find not one, but 2 big lights.
Yep.
So we've got the Nanlite 720, and then we've got the Aperture 600X. X marks the spot. And if you look right into the light, there'll be a spot in your eyes.
So just kind of like what we were talking about in my video, we're trying to duplicate the power of a 1200 or better. So that's why we put the 2 lighting fixtures together. We haven't bought, as you've been watching, if you've watched either of our channels, you'll understand we have the 720, we use that all the time.
Yep.
600X, we use that, but we don't have a 1200. And yeah, I mean, we've never needed one. The 720 has been more than enough, but now we're going to need it. But that's the whole reason. It's like, okay, well, whenever we need one, we can rent one.
Right.
But then we're like, we might need it for 2 days. So we're trying to see, can we do it ourselves or do we need to rent one?
Yep. So that's the question to be answered.
Yeah.
And one of the other things to consider is power. So that is kind of what we left the previous video off on.
Yeah, so the point we were trying to make before we say that is we're filling up some of our time with, we know when we got this shoot at the end of the week, Friday?
Thursday and
Friday. So we're at Monday right now. And so it's like, let's do this at our own places.
Do this on prep day, because Monday's prep day. We got to shoot. We got a documentary Tuesday.
Yep.
We have a drone all day Wednesday, and then we've got 2 days of interviews on Thursday and Friday.
And so the idea with this is that we're not doing this for the documentary because we know what we're going to do for the documentary. We got that all set.
Yep.
But what we are doing is this whole 2 light thing so that we don't look like idiots when we get on set. And we're also, like Josh was saying, we're also going to test the electricity. So I'm gonna let him go through with that. But also tell him about your lighting video that you got coming up soon.
Yes. So I put up a teaser in YouTube Shorts, but we had last week, we didn't have a lot on the calendar, and we've been wanting to do a lighting study for a while. We've had a lot of ideas. We leave an interview and like, oh, what if we did this? What if we tried that? So we finally set a day and said, let's try all these things. So we spent the entire day, filmed 4 hours of content, lighting tests, testing all kinds of different ways to diffuse light, to control light, so that we can set up like a nice interview. We tried different lights, so many different things. Like I said, there's 4 hours of content. So we're working on cutting that down into
it's not
something.
going to be a 4-hour video.
No. We recorded 4 hours of content.
Yeah.
It will not be a 4-hour video.
What were we trying to match? We were trying to match
a book light. So kind of if you're going to do like a nice interview, like kind of that cinematic standard is let's do a book light. And book lights are great. They're beautiful. They're huge. They're annoying. And so we're like, how can we get that same quality of lights way faster, way easier, less equipment, less space? And the answer is yes, we figured it out. So that'll be coming in the video. You'll be excited for that. Even P.D. Mokri's 1 light book stand is harder than what we have figured out. That's an excellent, go watch his video on a 1 light book stand if you want to see that, because that is an
And that's the original one, by the way. I know another creator kind of duplicated it. He gave him a shout out, but that other guy got more views. P.D. Mokri's my guy who made that lighting setup popular.
Yeah.
Anyway, but you know, when we're in tighter spaces, we need to duplicate that light. So we did all that.
Right.
It took a whole day, but it was worth it.
Oh man, and like it was worth it even going into the shoot we're doing this week because we had tested and compared everything to a book light. Because the client, who's another production company here in town, he actually was like, well, hey, maybe we can do a book light.
Yeah.
Because like he's no idiot, he knows what a book light looks like, and he's been doing this for as long as I've been doing this, and so he's like, hey, maybe a book light, and so we had just done this test, and I'm like, well, hey, what if we do this? Because of the space, like we walk in, there's not enough space for book light, and so it's like, hey, what if we do this? And he's like, okay, yeah, that should work. And then I sent him some still frames from the test we did, and he's like, yep, great. It's like he knew we knew what we were talking about, but at the same time,
you want him to be confident.
Like total confidence. Yep, that looks great. So knowing that we've tested that and compared it, because for me, like we had done book lights, like we've done all these setups before, but we've never sat there and compared them back to back to back to back to back.
Yes.
And so in your mind, you're like, I'm pretty sure this is as good as a book light, but I don't actually know for certain. I'm just like, I've done both, and I feel like it's the same.
We have so many theories floating around in our heads. Sometimes we'll be in the van and we're like, no, this one's better than that. No, it's not. This one's better.
Yeah.
So we're like, let's just do it and remove all of the doubts. And that's what we did. And we found that certain things we thought were certain things, it actually ended up not being that way.
Right.
Different functions, and we were like, ooh, that's good to know. So anyway, you got to watch the video. Don't want to spoil it.
No.
So we're talking about electricity for this setup.
Electricity. I'm going to keep talking about the lighting test. So we are running a Nanlite 720, which pulls about 800 watts, and then your Aperture 600X, which pulls 750, I think?
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere in there.
Let me give you guys a little view of it.
Yeah, Mike is going to give us the roundabout here. Get this out of the way, and then I can pull the.
There's the. Let me see if you can see my finger. There is the 600X. That is the 720D, not the B, but the D. So full power on that guy.
And the other thing, this is a good moment to pull all this and show just the craziness of the contraption that we have here.
I'm gonna come around the front.
So what we've done is we've taken a skirt that we have from a large, don't look into the light.
Lantern.
Try not to blind myself here as I'm doing this.
So if you guys watched our little NAB videos, we made pickups on the last day. I don't know if you talked about it in your video, Josh. I think I talked about it real quick.
I did not talk about it. Hello.
Want me to leave it up front or just right
Right here's good. Yeah, thank you. Take your picture.
picture? You're all set.
No worries.
You too.
Thank you.
So
So I'm going to kill these lights so that I can not burn my retinas.
Yep.
And this is actually a good point to test heat and see how hot these are getting. Oh, well, we answered that question.
Glad I got that on camera.
Well, so this is why we test things.
Oh!
How's it going?
No way. Hold that up to the light so we can see that better. That's a hole, guys.
That's a hole. This is why we test. So this was on the can. And we know the cans can get hot. And we found out how hot they can get. Now, this is a cheap skirt from China. This is not an Aperture brand and any of these things. So this material's probably, clearly, not very heat resistant. So we find this out now in our garage. We don't find this out on set in front of a client who's paying us money.
And it starts smelling like something's burnt and we look like idiots.
And then a fire alarm goes off because chemicals trigger fire alarm. So this is why we test these things. So you get to be the first to find out this didn't work.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it gets hot up in there.
So, and this can is hot, so I'm going to use this clamp to pull it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a tiny little burn mark there. Even the clamp is hot. So, this is why we test things. This is why we have these test days. You don't, for the first time on set, be like, oh, let's just throw it on there, it'll be fine. So, now we know about that.
So what was this? We talked about it on my channel, not here yet.
Yeah. So, this was the skirt for a
lantern.
Lantern. I want to say space light every time. A lantern.
Because it looks like a space light.
Yeah. It's like a UFO. Or it could be a hula dress, you know.
That's on camera.
I'm just imagining myself wearing this. Like, Not that I ever wear those things, but I'm just like,
It's a
that would
space
just be
dress.
so ridiculous. Anyways, so
Where did that come from?
anyways, I had it clipped on one of the other things.
Oh.
So now we know that this fabric is not very good. Point is,
So-
this was a skirt for a space light to
Yes.
control the light.
To control the spill.
To control spill. And so the idea was, let's create a softbox.
And what we were also finding out is that it was also amplifying the light.
Yeah, because that silver, that was the interesting thing. Before we put this on, it was like, ooh, we're right on the edge. We put this on, it's like, hey, we gained a little bit of light. So this silver really helped bounce and push that light forward because we kind of turned it into a softbox. We pulled it around, which is what created the heat problem, which is what led to this. So if we're going to do that, we have to position this differently. So if I was going to do that again, and I'll note the burn mark is only right where
it was
Mike
touching
adjusts
the
the
can.
camera, right where it was touching the can. So if, for example, we had run a grip arm up over the top of these, like we've got another spud here, so we could take a short arm, put it up, and then take one more grip arm, run
Yeah.
it over. We can make a little frame to clip this to, and we would be fine.
Yeah, because I was thinking as you were saying, I'm like, this is softer and cheaper material, but at the very same time, I think it would have burnt through anything because that heat was pretty high up there.
Yeah.
So what you're saying makes sense I mean, you have a gaping hole in here now.
Nothing little gaff tape can't fix.
That's right. Gaff tape fixes the world. You have emotional issues? Gaff tape.
Where'd my short arm go?
You're what?
My short arm.
Short.
Oh, I found it. It's right here. T-Rex, T-Rex.
Dad jokes. We got that on camera. Where is the short arm?
Here it is. In the sun. Ow, hot. No, that's fine.
Not as hot as those lights.
No, not as hot as those lights. So we need one more grip head. But if we basically do this,
Oh, to kind of prop
and
it
then
up.
put a grip head, we'll just make a little frame around it. So we could still roll this, but we just need to
Grip head. Think.
an arm and a grip head.
Got you. Another arm, another grip head.
Right.
Let me go get that.
Yep. So
Let's
we're just
see if
going to
these-
fix
Let's see if these mics will hold their their connection.
it. Helps use the right size hole when you try to attach something.
Hey, I got an arm with a grip head.
Be nice if we had a short arm. Maybe if we grab the short arm that goes to the black C-stand.
Yes.
The little,
Our Gary Coleman.
our Gary Coleman, because we still use old outdated terms.
That's right, baby. We ain't scared unless it's like vulgar. We try not to use those.
We'll see if the mic carries all the way over there.
Hopefully you guys can hear me.
Hopefully
Let's
we
see
can hear
how
Mike.
well this thing connects when I jump into this metal can of a van.
Well, while Mike is jumping into the van to look around for that arm, it's either in the bucket or it's hanging on the side there. Let's look at these chips. So this is the 720. Big fat chip. This is the 600X. So you can see smaller chip. You can also see as a bicolor light, you're dividing up what's happening. This chip is larger and it's not divided.
This would be funny
So
if
that's
you
nice.
guys
If I
can
turn
hear
those
me in
on,
here.
you would just die from overexposure because the thing is so bright. So while we have this busted apart, what we've got here is a combo stand. We've got both ballasts clipped to the stands. We have a Cardellini coming off the stand, grip head, grip arm, grip head, so we can hold our 4x there. We actually tried going off this grip head first, but we couldn't get the angles we needed to control, so we went ahead and put it down here, which also let us get lower so that we weren't hitting the ceiling, so that's good to know. You may wonder why we're using a triple header instead of a double header. The double header is spaced farther apart, and so the two lights were not as close, and so we weren't getting the right, it wasn't hitting right behind the silk. So we went ahead and grabbed the triple header. This light's heavier, so we put it on the center and then hung this one off. But now we have a spot to put this and arm off a little safety for our material that we are running.
No,
So
I don't see
that's
it,
what we got
Josh.
there. You don't see it. Okay. Then it might be on one of the carts.
I looked on both of the cards.
looked
I
on the
couldn't
carts?
find it.
Okay. Well, here, I'll pass this to you, and you can talk about something while I go look for it.
Did you talk about the chips? And
I
how,
just talked about the chips, and I talked about the stand setup that we have.
Did you talk about how this one has bicolor?
I did.
Okay.
I stole all your thunder. You
Dude,
gotta come up with
look
something
at
new
the
to talk
size of
about.
that, though. That's just ridiculous. Like, this is what I expect to see when I see a 600 watt light. This is, obviously, it's not 600, but that's just ridiculous. Anyway. We actually talked about this combo stand, but we brought it out second stage only, not the first stage, because if you don't remember, on Josh's vlog, that sucker almost fell on my head. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, when it comes to vlogs like this, or let's say vlogs, or I mean, this is going to be like a what is this going to be? A podcast. When it comes to stuff like this, we edit a lot of our stuff. We're not going to be editing these projects. Like, we're not going to be editing the documentary. We're not going to be editing this project in the office, like we're saying. But for most of the projects, we edit. And so when it comes to vlogs and podcasts like this, and even when it came to everybody else's, who's vlogging, David Winters, David Moorfield, Petey Mokri, everybody else that we all watch. Those guys are what I call don't hit yourself in the head, Josh.
I was trying really hard.
Those guys, those videos are what I would always call editing fodder. In other words, I would throw them on in the background and just listen to the guys talk as I edited and worked, so long as I'm not editing interviews. Obviously, if I'm editing interviews, I need to listen to audio, everything goes off. But when it comes to, like, I'm lifting clips, I'm getting B-roll, I'm watching those podcasts, and you're going to need the longer
I
arm.
think so. Dang it. T-Rex didn't make it today.
So anyway, I put them on in the background, and then when I see, like, and I take a glimpse over every once in a while, and if it's like it's something cool, which happened all the time, which is why I fell in love with the whole vlogging thing, because it was for me, it was editing fodder. I put it on the background, and then I see something and I love that setup and be like, ooh, that is so cool. So this
We're gonna make it
this
work.
stuff here could be your editing fodder, or your background noise for whatever you're doing, where it's not like
Are you saying we're not pretty enough to look at, Mike?
No, I'm saying we're not interesting enough to, like, sit there and watch. It could be boring but interesting information at certain points in time. So you could be doing something else, right? You're cleaning your room, you're cleaning your office, got us on in the background, and then it's like, oh, okay, that was an interesting bit of information, whatever. That's how I always approached them. And I'm telling you, man, the vlogs, this community has really just, Joel Gaberson, that's another one of the guys that I used to watch all the time. Still watch. So long as you guys are posting. But I would just watch everybody's vlogs and just learn. What are you guys doing? How are you guys doing it? And if it's something different and it was just way more efficient or better, I'd be like, Josh, did you watch this one? And then we both get up on it and make life easier for ourselves. Mm-hmm. Maybe we should try a longer arm. What do you think?
Problem is, a longer arm is gonna be like out here.
Not necessarily. If you make that little arm go further backwards, it'll be just right over it.
Well, but
And also remember,
I'm saying in total, it's gonna be this long.
Which is perfect. I'll go get one. Wait, didn't I bring one in here?
You took it back.
Oh, I took it back. It'll be this long. Wah, wah, wah.
Which will be perfect.
Oh, we got that on video.
Oh, man.
See how much fun we have, guys?
You have to have fun. Pew, pew, pew.
We're grown adults with children of our own.
You mean we are our own children?
That's why I love this job.
That's right.
We could be idiots. Do you guys know about the right hand rule? If you don't,
You're fired.
Josh.
So this needs to be pushed out this way.
This?
Yeah.
Come this way.
Here, I'll just
I see.
spin this. And then spin this back.
You could almost bring that thing, the whole thing, if you were to pivot that arm this way,
Yeah.
the whole thing comes out in front of the can.
That's probably a good idea. I just want to not lose too much height.
As we silently work.
Yeah. It really didn't accomplish anything. Here. Like that.
Perfect. So if you guys don't know about the right hand rule, if you're wondering about that, that's actually the safety rule when it comes to working with grip heads like these. They have a couple of different names. Grip head is one of them. Gobo is another one. And that's like a dual purpose because what you use in like projector heads are also known as gobos. But this is also known as a gobo head. And the thing is that the left hand rule means, you know, this is righty tighty. And if you have this part on the left hand side, this weight bearing load, if it falls
Take
downwards,
this arm for a second.
if it falls downwards like this,
That's why.
it will only end up tightening this grip further, right? If you have it like this and it begins to, wait a minute. What's it called? The right hand rule?
The right hand rule.
Was I saying left hand rule?
I think you said left hand. So right hand rule, as you're zoomed in from across the room on the wide lens, look at this like a clock face. Right.
Righty tighty.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey. So that same way, when you have a grip arm in here, you want it to the right of the face of your clock, so to speak. Because as it pulls, as it drops, it tightens.
This is the right hand rule.
Well, it depends which way you're facing.
Because I was just doing it right now. I was like, wait a minute, it's loosening.
If you get backwards, you can. I'm going to grab a grip head and we're going to come up close and show you the right way to do this thing.
There we go. I just lost my bearings on everything. Life doesn't even make sense anymore right now. This is the best part about actual live. Even though we're not live, like we're not going to cut. So
what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom this thing in. Because nothing like trying to explain this from super far away. Where are you going?
I just need to remember.
Here, I'm going to help you with this. I'll hold your hand, Mike. I'll be fine.
Nothing makes sense anymore.
I have a grip head in my hand.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's this arm that was throwing me off.
That's why I grabbed a separate grip head. Okay, so stand there. You are in frame. Okay, so as you're looking at a grip head, this is the face of the grip head. And when you put things in here, slip that in. So I'm leaving it loose for demonstration purposes. So if your weight is this way, even if I were to tighten it, which I won't tighten it very much, if my weight is this way, then it's actually going to, I should put this on a stand so I can demonstrate that properly. I'll leave it loose for the sake of demonstration. If you have weight this way, it's actually going to loosen
if it goes
itself. But
and
if the weight is here and it falls, it will keep tightening itself. So that's why right hand rule, because now the weight would be on the left side if you're on camera, and this would actually loosen itself
and fall
and hurt somebody
if they were under it.
So you'll notice the way this grip head is, you can put the pole on the top or on the bottom. You see that? And that affects leverage, which affects the rule. So if my weight is here and it's on the top, that's great. If I'm here, I'm clearly leveraging this way.
He's talking about top here.
Right. So you got to think about that as you put things in. So you always want to put it in the top. So spin this so it's on the top and it's to the right, because that maximizes your right-hand leverage. So weight should always go that direction.
So the right-hand rule now is that you're tightening it. The tightener needs to be on the right side with that leverage on the top,
Right.
like you said.
So the
This one
direction,
was throwing me off. I'm sorry.
the direction you turn to tighten it is the direction you want the weight. Because now it will tighten as it falls. And you can test that, which we don't have this on a stand, so I can't test that, because if I stick my finger in here, I'm going to break my finger. But if you were to put this on a stand, Mike, here, stick your finger in there. You want to try that, really?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be better.
All right. So if this was on a stand, and if I were to yank, if I tighten this, if I yank on this side as hard as I can, watch Mike hurt himself.
I'm like, you're going to hurt me.
I'm going to hold this side too. So now that's not going to go anywhere. But if I yank this way,
Wasn't loose enough.
yeah, it's not loose enough for demonstration purposes. If I go this way, I can eventually loosen it.
Okay,
This is
so
the world's worst demonstration. We're leaving this whole thing in there, guys,
yeah,
so you can laugh at us.
For comedic
Okay,
purposes.
so that would loosen. This would tighten.
Keep going till it tights. No, yeah. See, now it's starting to get tight there.
Yeah.
He can't even
I'm gonna try not to
just crush
smash you.
my knuckles.
Okay. Now, as I keep going, see,
There it
there we
goes.
go. Now it's eventually getting tight.
Now you wouldn't leave it that loose. You would have obviously thought you tightened it.
Right.
But if for some reason it doesn't tighten, as it moves forward, or you put something heavy like that on there,
Right.
it's going to go forward, but then tighten as it goes down.
So for example, I've done this. Where am I at? Now I'm on the left side. So in the same way, if I went this way, and Mike is holding that as tight as he can, I can now
It just loosened it.
And now,
That would fall on somebody's head if somebody was under that.
right. So you never want to have weight on the left side, because now that is a danger,
See how
Will
it's under?
Robinson. Danger.
Who's Will Robinson?
If you're old enough to know what that reference is, please comment and make us feel better.
Yeah, make us feel better.
All the rest of you are like, huh?
Like, pew, pew, pew. But we know Will Robinson.
Wow.
Oh. Did we just do that right now? No, this is solid. No, this whole thing is metal. No, this is
Anyways,
we didn't do that.
well, we yammered for long enough. I hope that was valuable for you. And I hope this last part was very entertaining for you. So, Mike said editing fodder, but that was more like full on just laughing at us fodder. The principles are sound, even if the execution was entertaining.
It's a lighting video and we're talking about the right hand rule.
We're trying to talk about the right hand rule.
Yeah, we're trying to talk about the right hand rule.
Well, we're going to stop it here because it's long enough. Unless you want us to demonstrate the right hand rule again, we're going to call this quits.
Weren't we like talking about?
We were talking about the right hand rule in relation to how we're putting this in here.
Yeah, we were gonna. So, did you want to show them that, or just like, nah, you guys can figure it out?
I think you can figure out that we're going to stick this inside that grip head and go like this over the lights with the right hand rule so that it didn't break anything.
And then we can put this on it and not burn it this time,
Correct. That would be the whole purpose
and gaff tape it to fix it.
in the ridiculousness that you just watched. It's kind of like the Three Stooges, except there's only two of us.
That's kind of what it was.
We only need two of us to make Three Stooges. All right. I guess I'll be Curly.
And you could you can find the lighting.
The lighting breakdown will be coming soon.
Yes.
And
I think that's going to be very very educational because it was for us in doing it.
oh yeah,
And we've been doing this for a long time, but
it's nice to put theory into practice.
and to figure out the difference that it actually made, you know, just as a quick teaser, we had very specific ideas on the deep parabolic softbox, and come to find out, it is better, but not for the reasons we thought it was. So, teaser. Anyway, so I guess that's it. Josh, is that it?
That's it. Mike just wants to keep teasing that video.
You gotta watch it. I think it's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah. You know what else I realized doing this? We're putting the incorrect end of this up here because this thing just really wants to spin, even though I cranked it. So I think we need to put the pin down into a grip head and then leave this. There we go. Now you guys can see. Because this just keeps wanting to spin right here, this grip head to here. It's also probably because this is a cheap Chinese grip head. So if we had a real grip head, it probably wouldn't be an issue. It's literally just trying to spin off with nothing on there. So I think we...
Which essentially kind of ruins what we were trying to do, because then it'll eventually slip onto that burn.
Right. So we'll flip this over and put a grip head here.
We're over here like, yeah, we want to do this so that we don't look like idiots. And then, so we'll look like idiots in front of you guys. Pew, pew.
That's... I mean, if you've watched the channel for any amount of time, it's over. Like, you know.
It's over.
It's over. So, you know that we're idiots who know what we're doing.
By the way, how you guys like Josh's cool beard?
Yeah. My hot water heater went out, and so I couldn't shave for a couple days. And by the time we got the water heater back on, which is it was only like 2 days, you know. But I was like, you know, let's try it again. Because off and on, I've done it.
Got a few more grays there now.
Yeah, I definitely got the grays in. So, enjoying the gray club.
Yeah, welcome.
Yep. All right, thanks guys. That's it. Stay tuned for the next one. Go watch Mike's first half. If you did not watch this half, we did not make pew pew jokes over there, so that's worth watching. All right, thanks guys.
Bye.